Welcome to Kinstretch. So we got half an hour mobility workout for you. Focus primarily on hips. Get some shoulder in, a little bit of spine, but for the most part we're going to focus on hips, which is going to be one shot, so you can just follow along with me. We'll get warmed up with our morning routine, our CARs. CARs stand for controlled articular rotations. The only materials you need is 2 yoga blocks, but you can easily go without the yoga blocks. If you have them, great. If not, you can substitute with pillows, or you honestly don't even need them. But if you do have one, throw it between your knees. We're going to get started with your thoracic spine CAR. So give yourself a big hug. Okay? We want to think about pointing our toes, flexing our toes underneath us, giving ourselves a nice hug, and we want to think about rounding as much as we can without moving our hips back. So I fold as much as I can, but I'm making a strict golf rotation to the left. I'm going to side bend, arch, side bend again, strict golf rotation, finish where you started, round as much as you can. Really aiming to keep 50% of your weight on your left hip and 50% of your weight on your right hip. Side bend, rotate, round, we'll get one more in, so strict golf rotation, side bend, arch, side bend, golf rotate, round all the way through. Freeze there, we'll rewind. So again, keep those hips forward, strict golf rotation, side bend, arch, side bend, rotate, round through. For these, you want to think you're wearing a heart rate monitor. You're only moving through that heart rate monitor. Last one will rotate, side bend, arch, side bend, rotate, and round. Next, we'll get in the shoulder CAR. So I'll have you get in half kneeling, flexing that bottom foot underneath you, squeezing that glute. So we are in this posterior pelvic tilt. I'm going to put my other hand on my sternum, keep good tension on my abs. And I'm going to rotate my thumb as close to the ground and my pinky as close to the ceiling as I can to start to get that external rotation. Now as I come up, I'm thinking rib cage down, and I'm trying to come up as high as I can until I feel a roadblock. Right when I feel that roadblock, I'm going to rotate as far as I can, and I'm going to cut off that angle, coming straight back, getting thumb down as much as I possibly can. Going back as far as I can. Once I can't get back any further, I freeze. Recreate tension from the ground up, start coming back, rotate, come over the top, rotate again so the palm's facing the ceiling, control it down. So again, creating tension from the ground up, coming sort of towards the midline as I come up, right? Once I can't go any further, once I hit that roadblock, I rotate all the way. I keep that thumb down as much as I possibly can, and I'm trying to wring out more and more tissue as I'm coming back. Once you're with that end range, reset, recreate that tension from the ground up, start going back, rotate, come all the way back over the top. Let's get one more solid rep. Make sure you're square here. Start coming towards the midline as you come up. Once you run out of space, rotate as much as you can, thumb down. Start making your way back, cutting your angle off as much as you possibly can. And freeze. Squeeze that glute, squeeze that abs, recreate tension. Start going back. Once you hit that roadblock, rotate all the way, coming all the way up and over. And then let's switch sides. Again, half knee on the other side, flexing that back toe underneath me, rotate that hand as much as I can, thumb towards the ground, pinky towards the ceiling, start making my way towards midline. As I come up, once I can't get any further, I cut my angle off, I rotate as much as I can, and I start taking it back. And I'm going to retrace. I go back. Once I run out of real estate there, I rotate as much as I can. Come all the way back over the top. Once again, always think about rib cage here. Rib cage down the whole time. Re-squeeze that glute. Start taking it up again towards midline. Once you hit that roadblock, rotate as much as you can. And start cutting your angle off as you make your way back. Once you can't get back any further, rest, reset, create tension, start going back. See if you can't get back a little further this time. Then rotate, come all the way over the top, palm facing the ceiling as you finish. Really think about keeping this elbow locked throughout. Coming up, rotate, make sure we're breathing here. Thumb comes down as much as you can. Go back as far as you can. Reset, take a breath, inhale. Exhale, start going back. Rotate as much as possible. Coming all the way over the top. All right, next we're going to get into the hips. So we're going to go sideline hip car. So if you have yoga blocks or if you have an object to squeeze, great. I'd put something under your head, like maybe a pillow under your head, and then I'd squeeze onto something. So I'm thinking this is a steering wheel. I'm driving this in the ground to create stability through my rib cage. I'm thinking kind of like a side plank. Keep my lower side away from the ground, right? So I keep tension there. Then I'm going to flex my toe towards my knee. I'm going to bring my hip into flexion, knee to elbow. I'm going to go all the way up and out. And then I'm going to rotate. So my knee's going to come in, my foot's going to come back, an internal rotation. And then I'm going to start taking it back into hip extension. I'm going to clench that glute and freeze there. And I'm going to retrace. I'm going to keep the knee where it is. I'm going to start driving that foot towards the ceiling, internally rotating the hip. Then I'm going to start to externally rotate the hip and come towards my armpit. And then I'm going to come down. So again, knee to elbow. Start coming all the way up and out. Once you got nothing left, internally rotate as much as you can. Keep that straight angle. Notice toes always pointed towards knee. There's no slack there. And then we're going to start making our way back into hip extension. Once you can't get back any further, let's retrace. So go into internal rotation as much as you can. Now start coming up as you maintain that internal rotation. And then externally rotate all the way. Come down. Last reps, you're going to come forward, up and out, now external rotation and abduction. Internally rotate as much as you can, and then now start coming back into extension. And now we're going to retrace, so keep the knee where it is, bring that foot up, and internal rotation. Keep that hip extension for now, and then you're going to externally rotate and abduct as much as you can to get to the armpit. Switch it up. What we want to think about here is we want to think every motion is taking place through the glute. The glute is the steering wheel. We got to keep tension here. So the knee's fixed 90 degrees. So the knee and ankle are taking the stimulus from the hip. So also imagine there's like 30% of resistance within the air. Like there's actual resistance there. And that's going to force that hip to control the action. So we're going to find our steering wheel. We're going to clamp down on there. We're going to get that bottom oblique nice and tall, and then we're going to start coming forward to hip flexion. We're going to externally rotate and abduct. We're going to internally rotate as much as possible, and then we're going to start taking it back into hip extension. Once we get there, we freeze, come up into internal rotation, up and out into external rotation and abduction towards your armpit, come all the way back down. Knee to elbow. Knee up and out, knee in, foot out. Start taking it all the way back into hip extension. Keep that nice 90-degree angle at the knee. Once you can't get any further, retrace, internally rotate, and then take that knee up and out towards the armpit and come down. Last one, knee to elbow. Knee out, foot in, knee in, foot out. All the way back into hip extension. Once you get there, freeze, retrace. Knee stays down, foot comes up. Freeze there. Imagine there's resistance on that outer knee. Drive that knee out in that resistance. And then start coming back to the armpit and make your way down. So now I'm just going to get a timer. And we're going to get into our 90-90 series. So once again, if you have yoga blocks, great. If not, that's fine too. Just get this timer going.
So we'll get into 90-90 position. So we want to think front foot, toe is flexed to 90 degrees. My opposite shoulder is kind of in line with my knee. And then my back knee is at 90 degrees. And my toe is flexed there too. So knee is in line with hip, 90, 90. Now to bow the stretch, we're going to think drive your hips back. So my left hip's forward. Drive that left hip back as if someone's pushing it forward as you simultaneously drive your chest forward. And think you're wearing that heart rate monitor. Move through that heart rate monitor. You're driving your chest forward as you drive that hip back. And now we want to think this left hand is nice and tight to our body and our back is arched as much as possible to find that tension through that glute. Now, typically we would hold this 2 minutes passively and then we would get into our isometrics there. For today, I doubt you guys want to hold it for 2 minutes, so we'll shortcut it a little bit. We'll hold it for a minute. So think about getting into as much of a meditative state as possible. Breathing in through your nose, breathing out through your nose, really relaxing and making that mind-body connection to the tissue, to that stretch in that outer glute. So we have about 10 seconds left. And then we're going to get into our isometrics. So with our isometrics, we're going to think through this outer part of our foot, this bone right here, we're driving into the ground as we get light through our knee. So we're maybe driving up through our knee at 5%, as we're driving down the outer foot at 10%, at 20%, and 30%. And then we're going to hold that for 10 seconds. So keep breathing here, keep driving down. Imagine there's a gas pedal underneath you. You're driving through that. I want that scale to read 30%. I'm sorry, scale, not a gas pedal. And now you're going to relax and we're going to attempt to go the other way. So think get heavy on the ground with the knee and then attempt to take this foot off the ground. You're not actually going to be able to take it off, but think about taking it off and you should feel more of a contraction through the front side, through that adductor. Now we'll go back into that pal contraction. So once again, angle that outside of the foot into the ground. Imagine there's a weight scale under that foot. I want that weight scale to read 10%, 20%, and 30%. We're going to hold it 30% for 10 seconds here. Keep driving down. Really intentional breathing. Keep making that mind-body connection to that tissue. And now we're going to flip it. We're going to go into a rail contraction. So drive that knee down as we attempt to get light on the ground with the foot. Realize that you're not actually going to lift up. The intent is what matters. I don't want you to flicker your foot out or in to make it happen either. Really keep that toe pointed towards your knee. Okay? Last round, we'll go back to that pal contraction. So I want you to re-bow the stretch. Get your chest forward, your hip back. Create tension in the ground with your hands. And now drive down that weight scale 10%, at 20%, at 40%, and this time we're going to go 60%. So driving out pretty damn aggressively. 10 seconds here, breathing through it. Let's go to work, guys. Getting nice and light through the knee, heavy through the foot. 3, 2, 1. Drive that knee into the ground and attempt to take that foot off the ground. Remember, intent is what matters here. Feel this adductor start to fire, almost cramping on you. Keep breathing through it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. Nice job. So now we're going to do some kinetic stretching here. So think about a deadlift action, right? I'm going to hinge at the hip as I keep my spine nice and flat. So I'm going to get as much thoracic extension as I can create, as tall as I can go. And then I'm going to pull myself as deep into the stretch as I can before rounding my back. So right when I get to about there, I can't go any further. And then just like a deadlift, think push to the ground for every inch you come up. So knee and foot are driving the ground like crazy as I drive myself out of there. So let's get 5 reps with me. Ready, get nice and tall. Big inhale as you pull. Pulling with the front side stuff. And then as we come up, we're pushing with the back side stuff. Okay? So pulling yourself down. Once you can't get any further, push yourself out. Reset. Get nice and tall. Pull yourself down. Push yourself out. Really keep that toe pointed towards the knee again. Pull yourself down. See if you can't get a little further this time. Once you can't get any further, push yourself out. 2 more. Pulling down, staying nice and tall, leading with your sternum. And pushing away. Last rep, guys, max it out. Get as far as you can. Inhale, pull yourself down. Exhale and push, go. Nice work. All right, now we're gonna take a quick break from the front leg and we're gonna work the trailing leg. So what you're gonna try to do here is lift that trailing foot off the ground. Now for most of us, it's gonna be tough from this position, so feel free to hop on an elbow to do so, okay? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna create that base level tension. We're gonna drive that trailing foot into the ground. Actually, I'm gonna turn this way so you can see me a little better. So we're gonna drive this trailing foot into the ground, and then we're gonna use that almost as pre-tension to feel the stuff we need to lift it up, okay? So I get nice and tall. I really drive that foot in the ground as if I had the potential to drive this floor below me. And then I'm going to, little by little, get light on that floor until that foot comes up. Once I get there, we're gonna hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Place it down like a ninja, don't make a noise. Nice and soft. Reset, recreate tension. Big inhale, exhale, come up. Drive up, hold it there. Really fight it down. Again, create that base level of tension. Take a breath, trap that air in. Come up, hold, control it down. 2 more. Take that big breath, trap that air. Lift, hold, control it down. Last one, big breath here. Create that tension to the lats. Corkscrew your hands in. Lift. And then really fight it down. Now from there, we're going to get into a shin box position. So we're going to take trailing leg and we're going to bend it a little more. If we have a yoga block, great. We're going to prop the front leg on the yoga block. And then we're going to squeeze the yoga block like a football with our hands, okay? We're gonna rotate as far as we can over that lead leg, and then we're gonna drive trailing leg in the ground, and we're gonna use that to pull ourselves as far as we can over trailing leg. So we're gonna rotate from lead leg to trailing leg. 8 reps here, guys, on me. Inhale, pull towards lead leg. Exhale, drive trailing leg in the ground, and start pulling towards that trailing leg. Take a big breath here. Inhale. Drive lead leg in the ground. Exhale as you go. Take another inhale. Feel that trailing leg and start going towards that trailing leg. Keep that rhythm up. Keep that breath up. Keep that pace up. Drive down. Rotate. 5 more, guys. Rotate. Drive trailing leg down and rotate towards that trailing leg. Two more now. Let's go here. Awesome. Take the yoga blocks out of the way. Then we're going to do some trail leg abduction. So what I want you to do here is take that trail heel off the ground. So just like the big toe is on the ground, we're going to drive that big toe through the ground as we lift this knee up and over as far as we can on the other side. As we're doing that, I'm really driving this lead leg into the ground to get there. So I'm going to drive this lead leg in the ground for leverage. I'm going to start lifting that knee over as far as I can without rotating towards you, right? So I stay nice and square. I'm attempting to finish off with dropping my heel down Feeling a good tension to my glute, controlling down. Get that heel off the ground, rotate as far as you can. If you can get that heel on the ground, great. And then reset, come down. Recreate a base level of tension, corkscrew your hands to the ground. Inhale, exhale as you lift as far as you can. If you can, try to place that heel on the ground. Control it down. 2 more here, guys. Lean forward, create a good base level of tension. Start to rotate. See if you can drive that heel down. See, so if I come to here, I'm cheating. Stay nice and square. Last one, max it out, everything you got. Big chest, get that heel off the ground. Start to rotate as far as you possibly can. Once you can't get any further, place that heel down, drop it down. Last option from 90-90. We're going to get into collapse 90. So I'm going to rotate. I'm going to straighten one leg out as I bend the other knee to 90. And then I'm going to pull one leg up. We're going to do some hip external rotation, passive range holds. So I'm going to be in this position. I'm going to pull it up as high as I can. As I get nice and tall here, again, think side plank. From my ear to my heel, the body's in a line. I'm nice and long here. I don't want to be collapsed here. Okay. Now from there, I'm going to let go with this hand and attempt to hold it there. So everyone on me, pull that leg up, get nice and tall, create a base level of tension, and now let go and hold. 5, 4, 3, fight here. Feel this adductor start to fire. Re-grab. Pull it up a little higher and don't let it drop beside me here. Go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Re-grab. Pull it up. Imagine someone's tapping on this side. Don't let that foot fall from that hand. And go. Keep driving it up in that hand. Keep driving it up. 3, 2, 1. 2 more. Lift it up as high as you can. Let go and hold. Keep fighting here, guys. I know the cramps are coming. Keep fighting. Re-grab. Last one on this side. Pull it up as high as you possibly can. Let it go and hold. 5, 4, 3. Hold it up there. This time I want you to fight that eccentric as much as you can. If you can, make it like a 10-second negative. Really controlling every inch coming down. And take a breather. We're going to make our way back into 90-90. And then we're going to transfer to bear sit. So I want you to lift that foot up as high as you can. Then I want you to put that foot down. Lift the knee up as high as you can. And start rotating into bear sit. Now from this position, I want you to wedge your knees, your elbows in your knees. I want you to grab your ankles and your feet will be pointed out maximally. Now from here, we're going to try to get as large of a T-spine as we can, as big of a chest as we can. Now if you're limited here, feel free, pop a yoga block, pop a pillow, whatever, under your butt, and you should be in a lot better position. Okay? So you're in this position, and we're going to hold it passively for about a minute, but we're going to take good advantage of this position. We're going to do that cat-cow-like action within this position. So imagine you have that heart rate monitor up, right? We're moving through that heart rate monitor. We're using our knees and our hands and elbows as tension to move maximally through that heart rate monitor. Moving up and down here. Breathing through here, finding your breath, getting into that meditative state once again, and then we're going to go on those pals and rals shortly. Let me just check on time. Stay in that bear sit, please. We've got about 20 more seconds here, and then we'll go into our active component. So keep breathing here. Keep relaxing. Building hips here, guys. Building strong, resilient hips. So now, I'm going to have you think you're driving your knees into one another, but they're not actually moving because your hands and elbows are resisting. So you're going to drive your knees into your elbows at 10%. You're going to resist at 10%. Now let's ramp it up to 20 and up to 30%. Big chest here, guys, really resisting that. 5, 4, 3,
2, 1. Inhale. Exhale and pull those knees off the elbows. Pull those knees towards the ground as much as you possibly can. 10 seconds of solid, good work here. Keep breathing here, keep fighting. Let's go. Good. Meet your knees where they're at with your elbows, and let's go back to your pelvic contraction. So keep your feet pointed out. Drive your knees into your elbows at 10%, at 20%, at 30%. Keep driving up. You should feel that outer edge activating and swelling up, that glute medius. Keep breathing here. Keep feeling that outside hip stuff. You got 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Clamp onto those ankles and drive those knees out as hard as you can towards the ground. Breathe here, please. Arch your back. 5 seconds here. Last one, resettle, so you should be a lot deeper in the stretch now. Elbows go where knees are, and now drive knees up into one another at 10%, at 20, at 40, and let's go to 60 here, guys. A lot of time under tension here. Keep breathing, keep fighting, keep squeezing that outer glutes. Feel that connection. Feel like every rep, you're improving connection. You're controlling and finding your body. Now we're going into that rail contraction, so drive those knees away from one another as hard as you can towards the ground. Last one of the day, max it out. Keep breathing here. 5 seconds, y'all. Keep going. Keep going, keep breathing, keep fighting. Lovely. And now we'll get into our other 90-90. So I'm going to have you guys rotate to the other side. Just so I'm in a good position with the camera, I'm just going to slide this way. So similar positions last 90-90, or I should say same positions last 90-90. My chest is forward as much as I can. I'm thinking left shoulder is almost in line with the right knee. The toes are flexed to 90 degrees. My back knee is in line with my back hip. 90 degrees here, 90 degrees here. Now to bowl with a stretch, we're thinking about driving our hips back as we simultaneously drive our chest forward. And once again, we're going to hold passively for a minute, and then we'll go into those paddles and rounds. Paddles and rounds is just a fancy way of saying isometrics at both sides of the tissue. Okay? So we're saving it to the nervous system, so to speak. We're getting isometric strength and end range stretching. I want you to keep breathing here. We got about 30 more seconds, and keep doing what you can to get as large of a connection from brain to body before we go into those paddles and rounds. That's all it is here, guys. That's literally all we're doing is improving our connection between our brain and our body for more input and more stimulus within the joints we want to work. Keep breathing. We got 5 seconds here, and I want you to imagine that weight scale is under that front foot with that outside edge of the foot. I want you to drive down. I want that weight scale to read 10%. Once again, we're getting real light with our knee. We're almost lifting our knee off the ground a little bit to get a little bit of rotation within that stretch. And now I want that to read 20%. Keep breathing. Keep arching your back. Keep staying in good position. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drive that knee in the ground as you attempt to lift that foot off the ground. Keep working here. Realize that it's not actually going to move, okay? Keep breathing. Keep looking to find front side, the adductors. Good. Driving back in your pelvic contraction. So find that position. Let that weight scale read 10%, 20, and up to 30. And we got 10 seconds in this position. Keep arching your back. Keep striving for better and better position here, guys. More thoracic extension. And now we'll go in that rail contraction again. So drive that knee in the ground. And now attempt to take that foot off the ground. Get nice and light with that foot. Keep breathing here, guys. Keep fighting. 5 seconds. And now last one. Drive that outer edge of the foot in the ground. As you lift that knee up, we're going to go to 10%, ramp up to 20. Let's go to 30, 40, and last one up to 60%. Think about exercise. If you inhale something toxic, keep getting that breath out. Keep driving against that immovable object. Drive that knee in the ground. And now lift as hard as you can. Go. 10 seconds here. And relax. Settle in that stretch. You should be a little deeper than you started. And now we'll get into kinetic stretching like we did on the other side. So once again, we want to think we're going down as far as we can while keeping a completely arched back, keeping full thoracic extension. So on me, 5 reps here. Arch as much as you can and start pulling yourself into as much of a stretch as you possibly can. Once you can't get any further, push through that knee and foot, drive out. Inhale, pull. And exhale, push. Once again, think about that deadlift analogy. Think for every inch you come up, you push down. Inhale and pull. Exhale and push. 2 more. Reset. Get nice and tall. Inhale, pull. Exhale, push. Make sure you're not rounding your back to get further in that stretch. Keep that integrity there. Keep that extension. Last rep of the day. Get nice and tall here. Inhale, pull. And exhale, push. Nice job. Now we're going to get into our hip into rotation lift off. So I'm going to rotate just so you're in a good position to see me. We're going to arch our back again as much as we can and create leverage with that lead leg by really corkscrewing our hands into the ground. And now I'm going to drive this foot into the ground first to create free tension. Imagine you have the potential to drive this forward to the floor below you. And now use that tension you create, that activation, to lift up as high as you can. And then really control it down. Arch your back, get nice and tall. And now lift. Control it down. Re-inhale. Trap that air and lift. Max that out. Hold that. 3, 2, 1. Drop it down. Not sure how many reps that was. I think that's 4, but that might be 3, so we'll get 2 more in. Drive that knee in the ground and lift. Really control it down. Last rep of the day. Arch. Drive down. Max it out. Lift up as high as you can. Really driving this knee in the ground. Using that as a wedge. Break the ground with that knee. And now it's making like a 10-second negative. Really controlling everything you got. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Might be cramping here. Fight through it if you can. 4, 3, 2, control. Take a breath there. And then we're going to get right into our shin box position. So we're going to rotate our lead leg. So our foot is closed off. It's connected to that knee. We're going to elevate that lead leg on a yoga block. And then we're going to squeeze another yoga block. So it's going to look the same as the last side. So I'll just have you guys go with me from the get-go. So I'm going to have you break this block with this knee. If you have a pillow, that's fine. If you have nothing, that's fine too. Squeeze this yoga block like a football. Imagine someone's in here trying to rip it from you. Don't let them. Get it nice and tight to you. Create a lot of good intra-abdominal pressure here. Create tension through your core, right? So now I'm going to drive that foot into the knee. I'm going to drive this knee in the yoga block. And now whatever side I'm going to, I want to push down through that leg, right? So drive triangle leg in the ground. Inhale, exhale, rotate. And now drive lead leg, rotate towards lead leg. Try triangle leg down, inhale, exhale towards triangle leg. Drive lead leg in the ground, rotate. 6 more. Pull, freeze, push. Keep breathing here.
I believe that was 8. If that's not 8, give me one more there. I'm going to have you drop that yoga block and get back into 90-90. And we're going to do our triangle leg abductions. So we're going to get nice and tall, really driving in through the lead leg. We're going to take our heel off the ground. And then we're going to start rotating as much as we can the other way without bringing our spine with us. So I stay nice and square. Once I can't get any further, I attempt to drive that heel on the ground. And then I control it back. Now if this setup is hurting your knee for any reason, you just keep that heel on the ground. Drive that lead leg in the ground. And now start to rotate as far as you can. Imagine there's resistance here. Driving through that resistance. See if you can't get your heel to the ground. And drive it back down. Arch your back. Get nice and tall. Drive that knee up as far as you can. Keep pulling. Once you can't get any further, place that heel down if you can. Come back. And even if you can get to here, that's great. Wherever you're at, just push to there. Okay? Get your heel up. Rotate. Rotate, rotate, rotate. Come down. Control it. Last one. Get that heel up nice and high. And rotate all the way. Max it out. Place it down. Nice. Lovely. All right. Now, we're going to get into our external rotation passive range holds. So from 90-90, post that to an elbow. Rotate. And now we're going to straighten one leg up. Out, rather. We're going to take our other leg. We're going to keep that toe flex towards our knee. We're going to lift it up as high as we can. And now with me, let go and hold. Go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Re-grab. Really drive this leg in the ground as if someone's trying to pull it up. Using whatever we can to create tension to get more out of the joint we're working on. Create good tension. Let go and hold. 5, 4, 3. Keep driving up. 2. Come on. 1. Relax. Re-pull. Flex that toe towards the knee. Let go and hold. 5. Keep driving up. 4, 3, 2, 1. 2 more. Lift up as high as we can. Flex the toe of the knee. And let go and hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last one of the day of these. Pull it up as high as you possibly can. Now let's fight here. Let's give it our all. Flex the toe of the knee. And don't let that drop a centimeter. Go. 5, 4, 3, 2. And just like an internal rotation, let's try for a 10-second negative. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last thing of the day. We're going to finish with some 90-90 to bear sit transfers. So everyone is facing me, mirroring me. Square the lead leg. Drive the lead leg in the ground. Now this is going to look very similar to our abductions, but then we're going to take it a step further. So I'm going to rotate as far as I possibly can. Right when I can't get any further, I'm going to bring lead leg a few inches, right? And then I'm going to try to take my trailing leg all the way into bear sit. I'm going to hang on bear sit for a little while. Then I'm going to post the lead hand out now. And I'm going to rotate all the way to other 90-90. Create good tension. Drive that heel off the ground. Start to rotate as far as you possibly can. Once you can't get any further, post it. Start bringing the lead leg a little bit of the way. The triangle leg now. And now rotate your bear sit. Chest is up. And now we're going to rotate all the way to other 90-90. Make sure you're maxing out each position. This time, just to add a little bit of sauce, we'll lift up first. Then we'll drive that foot down. We'll lift that knee as far as we possibly can. And then once we can't get any further, we'll bring that knee a bit of the way. Post lead arm. Rotate all the way through to 90-90. A few more reps here. Keep working. Drive that foot up first. Excuse me. Post that foot down. Rotate that leg as far as you possibly can. Get further this wrap. Start bringing that triangle leg now a bit of the waist. Freeze and bear sit. Rotate all the way through. Last rep of the day. I know I've said that a lot, but those are for specific exercises. This is the last rep of everything. So let's give it our absolute all. Lift that foot up as high as you can. Freeze. Drive that foot down now. Lift that knee as far as you possibly can. Get further than your previous rep. Bring that triangle leg a bit of the way, and then just keep using that to drive lead leg further and further. Bring your triangle leg 1 more inch. Drive your lead leg the remainder of the distance. Come down all the way. Last rep, arch your back. Bring foot up first. Drive foot down, rotate knee as far as you possibly can. Start rotating through that triangle leg. Get in a beautiful bear sit position. Chest is up, knee is out, and now let's just bring lead leg the remainder of the way. So bring it a few inches, maybe you can't get it any further. Bring triangle leg a bit of the way and try to finish it off. Get nice and tall there. Take a big old breath there and relax. Let's just shake it out with a nice smooth cat-cow. So get onto all fours. Flex and toe underneath us. Now, it's kind of a hybrid between maxing out cat-cow and just flowing through the position that we already trained. So, I'm going to flex my toes underneath me. I'm going to start moving through my hips first. Low back, middle back, upper back, head and neck. Head and neck is as high as possible. I'm thinking about driving the back of my head towards my tailbone. And I'm going to tuck tailbone, low back, middle back, upper back, head and neck. 1 more rep. Breathe through it. Inhale. Arch. And exhale and round. Hang out there for a second. Take a few breaths there. Relax. Great work today, y'all. Excited to see you guys again soon.